One of the biggest challenges that you're going to have is being able to listen and hear and help the prospect, help the potential client see and hear as well. When we get into a selling situation, we put blinders on and we only focus in on what we're trying to get. But remember, we're not here to sell them something. We're not here to list their home. We're here to help them see what their problem is so we can help them overcome it. Because sometimes, right, not all the times, but sometimes what happens is we miss the gorilla. Bop, 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 bop. Or we're so focused on the guys and the gals in the white shirt, we don't pay attention to the people in the black shirt, right? We don't pay attention to the gorilla that walks through. And master salespeople, right? I wanted to share something with you that I had forgotten about, but one of the challenges when we're new at selling and asking questions is we don't pay attention, we don't listen to what the prospect says. Remember, just because a prospect says something isn't necessarily their meaning, and it is not necessarily what they really want to say. Oftentimes a prospect will throw a lob at you, right? They'll throw a pass to you, but it's not quite what they're working with fully. And so I wanted to show you this quick video that that's going to possibly blow your mind. Now, what I want you to do is count how many times the players wearing the white shirts pass the basketball. All right. So I want you to count how many times the players wearing the white shirts pass the basketball. All right. Are you ready? If you're driving, you're going to have to stop. If you're at the gym, get off the treadmill, right? So I'll give you a few seconds here, but I want you to pay attention to the players in white passing the basketball. The players in the white. Players in the white.
How many passes did you count?
So in the comments, in the chat, right, wherever you're watching this, how many passes did you catch? How many passes did you catch? All right, put it in the comments. Come on, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't wait. It's okay, right? It's okay if you didn't catch them all, but I want to see how many you caught. Now I want you to pay attention a little bit differently, all right? So let's hit play. 15 passes. Some of you got it right. Some of you didn't. That's okay. What? There's a gorilla? There was a gorilla? Holy crap. Holy crap. Look at the gorilla. Look at the gorilla. Look at the gorilla right there in the middle. Dancing. The gorilla is dancing, beating his chest, and he walks right on out. Why is this important? When we ask questions, right? We ask great questions, right? As you go through the training, as you come to the Real Estate Sales Academy live training calls and you role play, you practice, you work on your questions. And as you start asking better questions, what happens is we're so focused on an answer that moves our solution, right? Buy or sell a property. We're so focused on that sometimes, right? Not all the times, but sometimes what happens is we miss the gorilla. Bop, 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 bop. Or we're so focused on the guys and the gals in the white shirt, we don't pay attention to the people in the black shirt, right? We don't pay attention to the gorilla that walks through. And master salespeople, right? They are able to take the full spectrum of everything that's going on in the room. They're able to listen to the husband. Let's call the husband the white shirts. They're able to listen to the wife. Let's call the wife the black shirts, right? They're able to see the gorilla coming in, and they're able to help the prospects, right? They're able to help the prospects uncover their true motivations. They're able to help the prospect uncover their true pain. They're able to help the prospect, right? They're able to help the person that they're trying to help because their attention and intention is to help and pay attention. So here's an example. Let's say you're talking to somebody. Let's say you're at a listing appointment, right? And inside of that listing appointment, the prospect, the sellers say, we want to get our money. You ask the question, what's more important for you? Is a quick sale more important, or getting the maximum amount of money? Right? Because we're trying to see if there's a time constraint. And they say, oh, no, we need the money right away. Now, the average agent's going to say, okay, great. What's the timeline? What's the date you need? Or they might ask, okay, another basic question, just a fact-finding question. But once you get good at this and you practice and you role play and you get repetitions, and you're going to say, oh, okay. And just out of curiosity, like, what date would you need that by? And they're going to give you the date. And you're going to say, okay, now why is that date important for you particularly? And maybe they have a family member that's sick. Maybe they have to, they need that money for another investment. Maybe they're buying another home. Maybe they need that money for their kids' college, right? Maybe they have a tax deadline, right? And now what happens is you can probe and clarify. Okay, so we list the house and we get the house sold, but let's say we can't close this property by June 15th. What happens then? Oh, no. We have to have the money, right? We have to have the money. Now, when you go into the pricing conversation and they say, oh, well, Sally's house down the street sold for $1.2 million. We think we get 1.35 because our house is obviously better, right? Every seller's house is obviously better because that's where their memories are. That's where their dreams are. That's where their kids grew up. That's where, my dad saw his first grandkid in that house. My dad doesn't realize that there's so much stuff wrong with the house and that the pool's going to be a huge bit of work for somebody to come in and resurface. He doesn't see that stuff. He sees my grandkid was here and I had my first tear with my grandkid. That's why sellers think their house is worth more, is because they're attaching their memories to the property. So it wasn't about how many passes the white shirts or the black shirts made. It was about, did you see the full spectrum? Now, if you go back and watch that video and I say, hey, now pay attention to everything, right? Pay attention to everything. Pay attention to the passes from the white shirts, the black shirts, and pay attention, is there anything that shows up in the frame? What happens though is when we get into a selling situation, right, we put blinders on, right? And we only focus in on what we're trying to get. But remember, we're not here to sell them something. We're not here to list their home. We're here to help them see what their problem is so we can help them overcome it. And when we can help them overcome their problems, see there's a solution that we're a part of, now they want to do business with us. But one of the biggest challenges that you're going to have is being able to listen and hear and help the prospect, help the potential client see and hear as well. So I hope this was insightful. I hope you found a little bit of fun in this, right? It is supposed to be a fun exercise. But remember, oftentimes we come in with an assumption. We're coming in with our own thoughts and beliefs. We're coming in and we're interjecting what we think and what we feel they should do instead of letting them come to the solution together with us. All right, I'll see you in the next training.